Hey babe, where are you right now?
Oh, hey babe. I'm at work, as usual. Why do you ask?
Just making sure. It's funny. I've been hearing some interesting things around town lately.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, it seems that someone has been spending quite a bit of money at a certain house on Maple Street. A beautiful house, I've been told. White picket fence, a red door, and a charming little garden out front.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Sarah. I've been at work, like I said.
Oh, David, you're such a terrible liar. I could practically hear the tremble in your voice. That house is just not any house, is it? It's your little secret hideaway, isn't it?
Babe, I swear, I haven't been to any house on Maple Street or anywhere else.
Funny, because I have quite a detailed description of that house. The one with the wraparound porch and a balcony overlooking the backyard. A place where you and your mistress can hide away from the world.
Sarah, I can explain. It's not what you think.
Save it, David. I have had enough of your lies and deceit. You're nothing but a coward hiding behind empty words.
Sarah, please, let's talk about it. We can work things out.
No, David, it's over. I deserve better than a spineless man who sneaks around behind my back. The divorce papers are on their way.
Wait,
Goodbye. My name is Sarah, a 32-year-old woman living in a bustling city. I have built a successful career as a marketing executive, and I was well known in the industry for my innovative ideas and dedication. Alongside my busy professional life, I shared a loving home with my husband David, who was a charming and supportive architect. We had been married for 5 years, and throughout our relationship, we had always been each other's biggest cheerleaders. Despite the demands of our careers, we prioritized our relationship and nurtured a strong bond. We believed in open communication and trust, which formed the foundation of our love. I really thought that I would stay with David for the rest of my life. For the longest time, I couldn't imagine spending my days with anybody else. However, life always has a way of testing even the strongest connections, and one day everything changed. To be honest, it happened very innocently. I was using David's laptop because mine had previously broken down. I stumbled upon an open email that left me shocked and bewildered. The email was sent from a very familiar address, and as I clicked on it, I immediately remember whose it was. It revealed that David had been working on a project with his ex-girlfriend Samantha, a renowned interior designer. My heart sank as I read the affectionate nature of their conversations, and I couldn't help but question if David still had feelings for Samantha. These emails had been sent out for months. Filled with insecurity and doubts, I confronted David about the email. I was emotional. I straight up asked him if he was seeing Samantha behind my back. He immediately became defensive, insisting that it was just a professional collaboration and that I was overreacting. His words were hurtful.
you're overreacting. It's just for work.
Why didn't you think of telling me about it then? We talk about everything.
What? So I can't even have some privacy now? That's terrible, Sarah.
No, that's not what I meant at all. How could you even say that?
Just stop it, Sarah. You're being unbearable.
At that point, I stopped talking. I was on the verge of crying. David had never talked to me like that before, and deep down, I knew that I had struck a nerve. I was scared to find out the true reason why. Noticing my silence, David softened his voice again. It was as if he knew I would react that way. He urged me to trust him and assured me that there was nothing more to it. That strangely comforted me a lot, so I did tell him that I would let it go. But deep down, I couldn't shake off the doubts that gnawed at me. Something felt off, and I knew I had to address it. Determined to protect our relationship, I decided to give David the benefit of the doubt. The next few weeks were really difficult for me as I tried to navigate our relationship. Some nights I couldn't even sleep, thinking about how David might be seeing Samantha behind my back. I was getting more and more paranoid, and I couldn't help myself. I was struggling, and in hindsight, it felt like part of me already knew what was going to happen but couldn't accept it. We even went to couples therapy together, hoping to rebuild the trust that had been shaken. In those sessions, we learned more about effective communication techniques and ways to heal emotional wounds. To be honest, it was frustrating to me, to say the least. I had always thought we had made that clear with each other, and yet David still managed to mess it up. But at least he still acknowledged his mistake and vowed to be more attentive to my needs. He expressed regret for not telling me about Samantha's project earlier, and he assured me that he would be more transparent in the future. Once again, he said that there was nothing romantic going on between them. It was merely for work. As we worked on rebuilding our relationship, things started to improve. David made genuine efforts to be more transparent and attentive to my concerns. He would plan romantic nights out with me and get me small gifts that reminded him of me. I was really hoping that our marriage would heal completely. Our bond grew stronger, and I began to believe that it was just me being overdramatic. After all. Encouraged by our progress, I decided to surprise David one morning by visiting his office with his favorite coffee, hoping to show him my love and support. However, the surprise visit would turn out to change my life and marriage forever. As I approached David's workplace, my heart skipped a beat when I noticed Samantha sitting at a nearby coffee shop. Fear and jealousy rushed back. Fueled by memories of their past together, unsure of what to do, I parked my car and decided to wait, hoping to catch a glimpse of David's interaction with Samantha. I thought to myself that they might just be meeting each other to discuss work. I waited and waited in extreme anxiety. In my gut, I knew that something terrible was going to happen. Minutes turned into an hour, and finally David arrived, accompanied by his realtor. I had to look twice just to make sure it was indeed David's trusted realtor. I didn't know him personally, but I knew what he looked like. After all, I worked in marketing, and I was supposed to be good at remembering people. Confusion washed over me. Why was this realtor involved? Was David trying to buy a new house? And what was Samantha doing here? My mind raced with unanswered questions. Just a few minutes in, David and Samantha got up from their seats as they followed the realtor outside. All three of them went in David's car as if to go somewhere together. Driven by a desperate need to uncover the truth, I decided to follow them discreetly. I trailed their car until we reached the outskirts of town, where new residential areas were being built. Then David and Samantha went inside a house together with the realtor, and they were looking around in there for almost an hour. I parked my car outside and patiently waited. The chance has come for me to figure out once and for all if David was cheating on me. David and Samantha eventually left, leaving the realtor alone to clean up everything. I mastered the courage to approach the realtor, my heart pounding with anticipation. I cautiously inquired about the house, pretending to be an interested buyer. I was hoping for an innocent explanation. Maybe this was what they were working on together, designing the house and making sure it worked with their client's requirements. I didn't know what I was hoping for, but certainly not the truth. But what discovered shattered me. The realtor informed me that the house had already been reserved by an engaged couple. It hit me like a tidal wave. David and Samantha had been planning a life together, designing their home in secret, behind my back. It was a devastating revelation. Feeling a mix of anger, betrayal, and determination, I sought legal advice to protect myself. I contacted a lawyer and asked her to help me with all the divorce papers. I also began visiting David's house every day whenever I knew for a fact that he was at work, pretending to be really interested in moving to that neighborhood and engaging in conversations with the neighbors. Through these interactions, the truth gradually unraveled before my eyes. I learned that Samantha and David had been meeting at the house for months, meticulously planning their shared future. I thought long and hard about why David could possibly cheat on me. What had I done wrong? Had I overlooked any signs? Self-doubt crept in, and I found myself grappling with feelings of inadequacy. And worse, how could he continue to stay in a loveless marriage if he had already planned a life with another woman? And that was when the reality kicked in. It was all for publication. I was a brilliant marketer, and David needed my network. He needed my reputation. I had always been his rock, so he would rather use me and have another woman on the side rather than leave me. It was painful, but I knew it was the truth. All this time, he had just been lying. He had never really been supportive of my career. He was just being supportive of his own. Realizing that David had been using me for my professional connections, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I had a meticulous plan in mind, but first, I had to get back at David. I wanted to make him fear the future as much as he made me. I waited and waited for the perfect chance, and finally, that day came. David left work early to drive to that house again, and this time with no one else. He was all alone. I followed him again, making sure that he didn't suspect me one bit. As soon as he got to the place, I picked up my phone and called him. "Hey, babe, where are you right now?"
Oh, hey, babe, I'm at work, as usual. Why do you ask?
"Just making sure." It's funny. I've been hearing some interesting things around town lately.
What do you mean?
Well, it seems that someone has been spending quite a bit of money at a certain house on Maple Street, a beautiful house, I've been told. White picket fence, a red door, and a charming little garden out front.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Sarah. I've been at work, like I said.
Oh, David, you're such a terrible liar. I could practically hear the tremble in your voice. That house? It's not just any house, is it? It's your little secret hideaway, isn't it?
Babe, I swear, I haven't been to any house on Maple Street or anywhere else.
Funny, because I have quite a detailed description of that house. The one with a wraparound porch and a balcony overlooking the backyard. A place where you and your mistress can hide away from the world.
Sarah, I can explain. It's not what you think. Save it, David. I have had enough of your lies and deceit.
You're nothing but a coward hiding behind empty words.
Sarah, please, let's talk about this. We can work things out.
No, David, it's over. I deserve better than a spineless man who sneaks around behind my back. The divorce papers are on their way.
Wait,
Goodbye. As I hung up the phone, I knew it was over. I drove past him, slowing down right in front of his face. He was still in shock. As soon as he saw my car, he recognized it right away. He was running after me, but I didn't even roll the window down. I kept driving. He could live in fear now, knowing the power I had in controlling the media and his image to the public. In the days after, he called me constantly. I didn't pick up once. I had already moved my belongings out of our shared apartment. The divorce papers had already been sent to him, too. I was done, and I was just waiting for him to pay the price. I used my influence to expose his lies, ensuring that the truth was revealed to everyone in the industry. I even secretly hired a ghostwriter to blog out the scandal. I must tell you, it's not nice to tell the world that you had been cheated on, but it was nice to see everyone side with you. After all, he wrecked our marriage and I didn't. I was being the best wife I could be to him, but none of that mattered, so why should I care now? The scandal that followed was immense, resulting in both David and Samantha losing their jobs due to the overwhelming public backlash. The internet rallied behind me, providing support and validations for my actions. After everything had settled, I focused on rebuilding my life and rediscovering joy in the things that truly mattered. I channeled my energy into nurturing genuine relationships and exploring new passions like painting, hiking, and best of all, traveling. As I embraced the healing process, I reconnected with so many of my friends and families who stood by my side throughout the ordeal. I also poured my energy into my work as a marketing executive. I became even more dedicated, pushing boundaries and unleashing my innovative ideas. My dedication and hard work paid off as my professional reputation grew, and I became known as a star in my field. In the end, I found happiness in the freedom to be myself, unbothered by the weight of a loveless marriage. Life has thrown its challenges my way, but I emerged so much better, happier, and healthier. I cannot be more grateful for this journey.